Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's DLloyd. So a quick little update about the Jimmy Butler Miami Heat situation and the Bradley Beal Phoenix Suns situation, because this saga is probably going to be dragged out for a little while, and I just want to update you guys where I stand and what I believe is going to happen between both teams, right? Because the Miami Heat, they obviously suspended Jimmy Butler for 7 games because of what he said, trying to get out of Miami, which I don't like the way Jimmy Butler actually did it. But you know, sometimes you got to cause chaos if you want to get your point across or if you want change. And clearly, between how their negotiations have gone, he's not getting that long-term deal. And with Pat Riley saying we are not going to trade Jimmy Butler, obviously the only way to even try to get traded is to make a big fuss about what is going on. Now, I'm one of those that do believe that the Miami Heat, seeing how the negotiations were going during the offseason, they decided to somewhat phase out Jimmy Butler this season, as his usage rate pretty much at an all-time low. It is completely non-existent for the most part, and I think they're trying to phase him out of the offense. I think Jimmy Butler understands what Miami's trying to do, and that on top of not getting the contract extension, I think that's why he wants out of Miami. Now, Jimmy Butler's situation is tricky because he has a player option next season. And if teams are going to give up something to go get Jimmy Butler, they want some type of insurance that he is not going to opt out of his deal and become a free agent next year. So it's going to take some type of negotiation between Jimmy Butler and his agent and the team to figure out if that's even a logical destination for a player like Jimmy Butler. We heard certain teams like Milwaukee made a call, and Jimmy Butler's team pretty much said no. Don't even try too hard to get Jimmy Butler. So I think there's a select few teams that Jimmy Butler will probably stay with. So that makes trading Jimmy Butler difficult. Now, going over to Bradley Beal and his situation in Phoenix, they announced that as of Monday, he's going to be coming off of the bench. A lot of people went straight to saying that maybe they're trying to trade Jimmy Butler. They're trying to make him feel unwelcomed in Phoenix. So hopefully he could waive his no trade clause, because Jimmy Butler, one of 2 NBA players that has a no trade clause. So maybe that could get him to want out of Phoenix. Now, what they said as a rebuttal, of course, they had to say this, right? So take this with a grain of salt, is that they just moved Bradley Beal to the bench to get a spark on offense. Now, technically, that could make sense, right? Get a scorer who doesn't have to share the ball with Kevin Durant, doesn't have to share the ball with Devin Booker, get an elite scorer coming off the bench. I mean, his first game off the bench, he had 25 points. So that could be a very real reason as to why they did that anyway. So I'm not going to say that was true or false, but I could see it somewhat making sense as to why they would go that route. But one thing we know for sure is you don't want to lower a player's trade value before a trade. In fact, we've seen teams play players more minutes because they plan on trading that player and they want that value to go up. Putting Bradley Beal on the bench, I don't think improves his value. I think it lowers it a little bit, but if it gets him to wanting to, get rid of the no trade clause or waive the no trade clause, then so be it. That is definitely the move. Now, when you look at the 2 teams and you're looking for a Jimmy Butler for a Bradley Beal trade, right? Because of course they have to be traded for each other because you have to make the salaries match up. I just don't see Miami going after Bradley Beal, especially because they won't have to negotiate with Bradley Beal, make sure he waives this no trade clause and make sure he waives any future no trade clause. Just get rid of it entirely, because nobody's going to trade for a player with 3 years, I believe $162 million left on the contract. That's a crazy amount. I don't think anybody wants to voluntarily take on that contract. So especially with not having the out when it comes to the trade, right? It's going to be difficult to trade him because he's going to have to approve of it, all that fun stuff. I could see a real situation where Bradley Beal finishes the rest of the season as a Phoenix Suns, maybe even next season as a Phoenix Sun. I could see a real situation where Jimmy Butler finishes this year as Miami Heat, because Pat Riley, he could be stubborn. He's prideful as well, and maybe he could have the thought, unless I get the trade offer that is going to benefit the Miami Heat long term, I am willing to just let him play with us or keep him away from the team and not trade him and make him hit free agency next season, because you would assume at that point he would opt out of that deal. But what are the offers going to look like for a player like Jimmy Butler in free agency, especially with how the cap situations for a lot of teams are now? it's going to be tight, right? The best way to get Jimmy Butler is to trade for him, but if Pat Riley's not ready to play ball, that's going to be a sticky situation. So just a couple of things to kind of look forward to, and reasons why I don't think that this is going to pick up steam. I think this is going to be a long little process. What Miami does after the 7-game suspension is going to be interesting. Does Jimmy Butler decide to just play basketball the way we know Jimmy Butler to play basketball, or is he going to be, not having joy in his game and being somewhat lackadaisical in how he performs? So I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Very interesting stuff. We're going to be following it as we get closer to the trade deadline. But let me know you guys' thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. As usual, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please do me a favor. Go ahead and hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. And subscribe if you haven't already. It's DLloyd. I'm see y'all next time. Peace.